everyone, this is Eugene Roddenberry.
Dr. Mohammed Noor.
Adam Nimoy, Leonard Nimoy's son.
This is Leonard Crowfoot.
This is Dr. Aaron McDonald, Star Trek Science Advisor and Lieutenant Commander McDonald on Star Trek Prodigy.
And you're listening to
Humanist Trek.
Humanist Trek.
You're listening to Humanist Trek.
the Humanist Trek podcast.
And you're listening to Humanist Trek, a fabulous, fabulous show.
Enjoy.
And don't worry, you can do your Temporal Mechanics 101 homework later.
And throughout all of this, the bridge lights continue to flicker. And so do the lights in Allie's house. What the hell?
Sorry. The cat is on the table. He's about to leap onto the counter. And I'm like, don't you fucking dare. Don't you fucking dare. Get down. Sorry. I was like, oh no, you're not. I see him looking.
Perhaps I could use this as an excuse to go to those far-off planets with little polka-dotted people if necessary, and be able to talk about love, war, nature, God, sex, all those things that go to make up the excitement of the human condition.
This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Welcome aboard. Jean-Luc Picard to the Starship Enterprise.
You want to review your rapid progress?
That nonsense is centuries behind us. To the Starship Enterprise.
Oh, yeah?
That is enough, damn it!
Tempo, mon capitan.
To the Starship Enterprise.
But you can't deny that you're still a dangerous, savage child race.
Of the planet Earth.
You just don't get it, do you, Jean-Luc? That is the exploration that awaits you. Not mapping stars and studying nebula, but charting the unknown possibilities of existence.
Peldor Joy, and welcome to Humanist Trek. It's a comedy Star Trek podcast about the humanism in Star Trek. I'm Sarah Ray.
And I'm Allie Ashmead.
And I almost forgot how to do that. It's been a while. Thank you, everyone, for your patience in episode release schedules with my move. It's been absolutely fucking chaotic. Allie, we haven't talked either. I didn't even call you and Bruce in for reinforcements.
I know, I was waiting and I'm like, why did she call me? And then next thing you know, I hear you've moved without me. So
we're like 98% moved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Turns out having a strong teenage son actually like gives
there's a benefit. It's
yeah.
It actually isn't too bad.
It pays off the smell and the attitude and all the other things that you have to deal with.
The smell.
That I can go, boy, let's lift this really fucking heavy washer and dryer up off the base and somehow get it down the stairs. And we did it. We crushed it. And that's
amazing.
Monstrosity of a headboard.
Mm-hmm.
There it is in the new house. Gigantic, like solid wood.
Man.
But we did it. And I'm proud of him. Really
That's
proud of
awesome.
him. Yeah. So there's just a few things left in the garage over there for the most part. And our camper, which we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do with because it won't fit here.
Mm-hmm.
So we're probably going to have to sell it if we can't find somewhere free to store it. And that sucks. But if we have to sell it, we have to sell it. And like it sucks that we won't be able to go camping this summer, but that's just kind of where we're at.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a lot of ways, it's a new normal. I have the studio equipment set up in the corner of the bedroom. Long gone is the big table with the room for everyone. So anyway, it's a new normal, and we are evolving to meet this new normal.
Nice.
Yeah, it's better in a lot of ways. It's worse in others, but we're gonna make it work, and that's just that's what you do. You evolve.
Yeah.
Into the situation that you're handed.
You evolve and you learn how to work together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of like them nanites.
Kind of like them nanites on Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 3, Episode 1, Evolution.
Commander, you'll soon be getting an intruder alert.
What? I've got something, sir.
Intruder alert, sir.
It's an old-style starship, sir. Constellation class, heading this way under impulse com.
Number one, kindly take charge of our guests until we have time to decide what we're going to do with them. Sir, number one, keep them out of my way.
I don't know how much you noticed this, but the opening of this episode felt different to me.
Well, it's the music. The music is all different. It's all different.
Was there a new composer this season?
I know that his name is Ron something or other, and he did the score for the whole episode. I know, but I don't know if it's like.
I did read that there was a new intro, like the actual show title sequence is slightly different,
Oh, I
and it
didn't even
changes
look.
from here to the end. That I noticed.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's a visual style, it's a feel, a change,
A camera,
something.
yeah, camera angles. Something's different because and they got more money. It's season 3. They made it to season 3. They got more money. It's just the feel is different. The vibe is different.
Ron Jones is who you're looking for.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe it's just a combination of the musical style, the visual style. Everything just felt different to me right in the first shot of this episode. It's like a space shot, but like right away, it felt different.
Yeah, the music is just didn't have that. It had a 80s movie feel instead of a Star Trek television show feel.
Okay.
And it was just weird. It was lots of synthesizers and a little like minor keys, and I don't know, it just seemed weird and eerie.
Well, we slow pan across a lab of some kind that we haven't seen before to find Wesley.
Have the boy sent to the bridge, number 1.
My name is Wesley.
It's Wesley I wanted to speak to you about. The boy?
My name is Wesley.
He seems to have developed some sort of special attachment to the boy.
My name is Wesley.
Did he say Wesley? The boy?
My name is Wesley.
What is the boy doing here?
My name is Wesley.
The boy. Where is he, please?
My name is Wesley.
The boy? He's outside.
My name is Wesley.
Wesley Crusher, report to the bridge. On the double.
Wesley's fast asleep with bits and bobs of lab equipment scattered all over the place when his brooch phone goes off and wakes him up. And Riker's like, "Hey, buddy, did you forget to set an alarm?"
Poor kid fell asleep doing his homework probably. And I remember doing that. Hell, I remember I fell asleep doing stuff now. And have you had this happen where you like fall asleep and you're sleeping so hard it's a nap? Okay, it's not a full in the bed sleep, but it's a nap and you wake up suddenly and you don't know where you are. That's happened to me. Ugh. Horrible feeling.
Now, I'm not sure if I've ever told this story on the show or not, but back when I worked at News Talk 1340 WSOY Decatur, I was supposed to be in at 5 a.m. and I was like in my early 20s, so that very often did not happen. So
you were late.
What happened was at 5 a.m., the station switched automatically from the network feed to local control where I was supposed to be sitting.
Oh no, Sarah.
Playing episodes of Focus on the Family or whatever garbage religious crap because it was a conservative station. But there were so many days that I was racing across town in my old blue Jeep, like flying at 5 o'clock in the morning. Nobody else is on the road. It's me flying through town, listening to dead air going, fuck, 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 fuck.
Oh my God.
And then my program director, Jeff Daly, would call and he'd be like, oversleep again, buddy? Like, fuck me. That happens so often now. I can't believe I didn't get fired.
Oh my. I'm gonna say, how did you keep a job?
I don't know, man. I must have been really good at it. So Wes apologizes all over himself and closes up some containers and like quickly tidies up a little bit before running off to his shift on the bridge. So we get a captain's log as Wes comes onto the bridge. We're in the Cavis Alpha sector in a binary star system, and we've got some civilian researcher on board to study the decay of neutronium expelled at relativistic speeds by a massive stellar explosion. I did that in one take.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
The guest is Dr. Kelso. If you ever watch Scrubs.
Yep.
Which, by the way, the reboot starts early next year, which I'm super excited about because I love that show. It's one of those comfort shows for me that I watched over and over and over again. So,
how do you okay, and this is a Star Trek question too, but like how do you feel about just rebooting the same old IPs over and over again rather than coming up with new things?
Yeah. I wonder about our creativity as a whole in the what do you call it, the television community. It's like they can't think of anything new, and they're constantly because look, our shit was good back then.
Yeah.
Like our shit was really good.
I think it's less that they can think of new things and more that they have figured out, and I've talked about this before with my generation of, G.I. Joe, He-Man, Transformers, all that bullshit. They're selling nostalgia.
Yeah.
And they figured out that that is a powerful emotion that they can evoke and market to and capitalize on.
Yeah.
So if I take an old beloved show like Frasier and reboot it because everybody loved that, and now they're gonna, gonna remember the good about that.
Yeah, but eventually we're all gonna die. All the people that were, you know what I mean? We're not gonna be here.
Well, they're not rebooting Mary Tyler Moore, They're rebooting our shit. And then when my kids get old, they're gonna reboot fucking Pokemon again or whatever,
I don't know though. I just wonder maybe the new stuff isn't so great to where they just need to reboot.
Yeah.
The old stuff the concepts were amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, this is Dr. Paul Stubbs, played by Ken Jenkins.
AKA, I'm going to call him Dr. Kelso.
Dr. Kelso, yeah. Wes takes his station as Riker points at him with this ornery grin the whole way across the bridge. He's just like, "You're late. You're late." So funny. And then Kelso explains that this phenomenon is highly predictable. He says the intense gravitational pull of the little neutron star sucks up the star material from the red giant, and it builds up on the surface until it explodes every 196 years, like clockwork, and it is but 18 hours away. And of course, Data checks his atomic clock, and he's like, nah, 18 hours, 7 minutes, and 10 seconds to be exact.
And they are about 1 million kilometers from it, which is 621,371.192 miles. But so they got one shot at this. If they miss it, it's gonna be almost 200 years before they can do this again.
I have a nitpick, a question, I guess. I'm not a scientist. I'm just a podcaster, but so Kelso likens this to Old Faithful, the geyser, and I just don't know that I buy how predictable clockwork this would be. Like, wouldn't there be some variability in binary stars? What if the neutron star is slightly larger or smaller? Like, wouldn't that change the math?
Mm-hmm. Well, they can tell when Halley's Comet's coming around. I mean, that's pretty predictable from from an astrological standpoint. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Astronomical standpoint. Sorry.
No, so Taurus rising or whatever.
not astrological. Sorry. Mercury in retrograde.
Yeah. It's just a TV show. I'll let it go.
Yeah.
So there's this bit of tech that they'll be using to study this thing, which Kelso calls the egg. And we see it later. Kind of looks like an egg, but it's really.
It's not. It's a probe. I mean, it's just a probe.
And they did that so that they could do laying the egg bits and stuff.
Yeah.
That's all.
Launch the egg! I don't know.
Picard comes out of his ready room, and they prepare to lay the egg. But suddenly the ship shakes, and Wes says the controls aren't responding. Kelso is thrown clear across the bridge, and it seems like he got knocked out, maybe. And the D is now being pulled in toward the stellar matter, which is being pulled toward the neutron star, and they can't even get shields up.
Dun, dun, dun.
Riker to Ensign Crusher.
Go ahead.
Forget to set your alarm, Wesley?
Yes, sir. I'm very sorry. I'll be right there.
Nothing is responding on the ship, and they've got 30 seconds to impact the fucking star. They can't do the manual override's not working. Riker calls down to engineering, and LaForge can't get the dampeners to respond. Picard gives the order to reverse the impulse engines, and so they reverse the engines, and that seems to slow them down, but they're still being carried. Their momentum is carrying them still into the the stellar matter.
Riker's throwing orders around, medics to the bridge. Kelso is not unconscious now, but obviously injured in some way.
He's falling and he can't get up though. He's like on the floor, holding on to something.
Well, inertial dampeners are haywire. They can't reset him. So he's the one that's actually playing this correctly, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, Data checks all the systems. Everything's fine. And when asked, the computer says there was no system failure.
This is not the system failure you're looking for.
Wes comes to sickbay where, thank the Q, his mother is back.
Yes. She got a new hairdo.
Mm-hmm.
But
yep. Good to see old Bev again.
Just like that, Pulaski just gone. Just bye.
Bye. Mm-hmm. And he's just there to deliver a message to Kelso about trying the launch again. But then it turns into being on a spaceship with your mom. And Kelso got jokes. He's like, I'm not sure I'd want my mom flying through space with me. Not scratch that. I'm absolutely sure that woman is nuts.
He's laying on his stomach, and I'm like, did he fall on his ass? Like, what?
Right?
Why are you laying on your stomach as Dr. Crusher is examining him?
Yeah, they're extracting something, I think. You should always use a toy with a flared base,
right?
Friends.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, it's like he fell and stuck something in his ass. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, Wesley has read some unauthorized biography that Kelso's mother wrote, and Kelso's like, Jesus, kid, fly the ship and read. Is that all you do? And Wes is like, well, I'm also trying to get into Starfleet Academy, so I do a lot of studying, too. Like, he's just this real nerdy kid.
Yeah. And then they sit him up, and he thanks Dr. Crusher, and he tells Wes to come along and let's see if the egg, he called it, they make another egg joke. So he says, let's see if Humpty Dumpty is still in one piece.
Then they leave, and Beverly hears a strange sound and goes to investigate and finds a food slot with a glass being filled with some liquid, but it's just overflowing and going everywhere. And the computer says it's functioning properly twice.
Mm-hmm.
So Crusher just turns the power off. And I thought by this point in the show, they had become more standardized than this. Food slot? When the hell have we ever called anything a food slot?
What is it called? Is it the...
I've heard food dispenser.
What's it?
Replicator? Replicator.
I don't know.
Anyway, down in engineering, Geordi is on speakerphone with Picard explaining the system checks. But so far, there's nothing unusual, and as Beverly rings the doorbell to the ready room, Picard orders level 1 diagnostics to make sure everything's good to get this experiment going and get this asshole doctor out of here. And also, check the food slots in sickbay for my boo thing.
Crusher, she goes to see Jean-Luc, because she's the only one who ever calls him Jean-Luc. She's feeling some kind of way because, she's back. She's been gone for a year. She's feeling a little guilty that she's missed 2 inches of his growth. And
2 inches of whose growth?
2 inches of Jesus Christ. Her son.
Oh my.
Not Jean-Luc.
Wow, Jean-Luc. That's so big.
She's missed, a year out of her son's life, and she just asked Jean-Luc, how would you feel if you were a 17-year-old boy and your mom was on board?
Mm-hmm.
And he thinks, probably inhibited, but then again, I'm not Wesley. But there's no problem. But she's worried about him that he studies too much. Does he have a girlfriend? Is he acting like a normal 17-year-old? And so she asks Picard, what's he like? And she wants his honest, opinion. What's he really like? Not that he's studying and that he's a fine officer. But she wants to know if he has friends, if he's seeing anyone.
Picard's like, well, there was this elastomorph girl he made out with one time.
But yeah, he says, he's his father's son. He's honest, he's trusting, and he's strong. But he knows that the real problem is that she doesn't feel his dependence anymore. He's growing up.
Yeah, shit's changed. But she's also worried about the same things that parents of any gifted or nerdy or spectrum kid are worried about. Like you said, when they were young and 17, they were all out getting into all kinds of trouble. Like, isn't that what 17's all about?
Mm-hmm.
And no, not for everyone. Anyway, speaking of gifted kids, Kelso has verified that the unit is fine and goes on to explain to Wes that he sees a lot of himself in Wesley. When he was a kid, they called him Wunderkind, with German for wonder child. Gifted.
Yeah.
So he's a gifted kid. And so he's like, I get you. You and me, we're one of a kind here. And now this burden is yours. The burden to fulfill your potential.
Red alert. Just then they get a red alert, and Wesley back to being an officer, and he tells Kelso to return to quarters immediately.
I fucking love this. Worf on the bridge. Worf swears up and down, I swear to God there was a Borg ship on the sensors, in case you forgot about the Borg over the season break. But when they turn the camera, just space and stars, nothing there.
And they were literally about ready to fire and do evasive maneuvers because, but yeah, it's some sort of computer glitch.
Okay, what was the episode where the was it the Naked Time where the replicator went wonky and started throwing cheeseburgers out or whatever? Was that?
I don't know.
So it could be, I don't remember if that one was it, or we went through a Melvar cloud and picked up some alien cloud thing. But at this point, I would just be like, Q, listen here, you motherfucker, this is not funny. Right? Like, somebody's got to be dicking around with them. And I would go to Q first every single time.
Yeah. But Q would eventually show himself, but
oh yes,
computer isn't finding anything, but all sorts of other stuff starts happening. The ship is shaking, the doors are opening and closing, and then the computer starts rattling off some fucking chess moves like pawn to bishop 4, knight to king's rook 3. It's just haywire.
The engines are all down too, and Geordi heads back to engineering with Worf, while Picard, Riker, and Data are going to talk it out in the conference room.
Is this all this boy does, Doctor? Fly the ship and read? Doesn't he ever have any fun?
Sure he does. If you have a bat for the ball, I can show you my favorite. A stick or a branch. About this long, this thick.
They've come to the conclusion that their main computer is breaking down. But their system usually corrects itself, self-correction.
Yeah, this seems very unlikely. Data points out that something like this hasn't happened on a starship in 79 years.
Whatever. Yes, it has.
Well, maybe on a cargo ship, but not on a starship. Anyway, Troy comes in, followed by the uninvited Dr. Kelso, and here we're treated to another classic civilian outsider makes their thing out to be the most important thing ever Star Trek trope, mixed a little bit with crazy scientist willing to die for his project classic Star Trek trope.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks Picard is just playing it safe, trying to get away from these stars and regroup, and Picard's like, well, actually, at our present position, when that star explodes, you'll be able to watch your experiment from the inside out. We're too close. It's going to blow us up.
And like you said, so Stubbs is concerned about, this is our chance. If we don't do this now, we're not going to get another chance in 200 years. And apparently, though, Starfleet has put a lot of weight on this experiment for him, too. So he's feeling pressured by Starfleet. And he's like, well, Enterprise can't fail in its duties.
But of course, Picard is going to take the safety of his ship and crew as paramount. And so Kelso casually pops his hand in his pockets and says, well, whatever. If we explode, at least we'll be in the history books one way or the other. And just calmly strolls out of the room. And Troy is like, that chill is very practiced. And when he says he'd rather die than leave, he means it.
Mm-hmm.
Back in engineering, Geordi isolates a section of a computer processor and zooms in real close, and he tells Wes, You know, if I didn't know any better, I'd say someone had climbed in there and started taking shit apart. And Wes is like, oh, fuck me.
Internally, though.
Fuck.
Yeah, he gets a look
Yeah.
on his face, and
If this had been Lower Decks, we'd have gotten that great camera push-pull dolly zoom shot thing where the subject stays still and the background moves as the panic washes over Wesley's face.
yeah, he doesn't say anything, but he hightails it out of there to his laboratory, where he goes and checks all his little jars, and the one lid that had been open while he was asleep, he's like, that's when he's like, fuck.
Mm-hmm. And he goes like white as a sheet.
So poor kid, he goes to 10 forward and he's crawling around on his hands and knees. Apparently this is late at night, so he didn't expect for anybody to be there, but he's crawling around on his hands and knees and putting little traps behind the bar. And Guinan is there though.
He pops up and he's like, oh shit, Guinan, I didn't think you were going to be here. And she's like, I just came to check out the motion detected on the blink cameras. And besides, I'm not good at being confined to my quarters, as my husbands will attest.
We keep learning little tidbits about her.
Yes.
She's the most interesting woman in the world.
Yeah, she's an enigma. These nuggets come so few and far between, but I love every single one of them.
And he says he's setting traps, and she thinks it's, hey, I run a clean place. We ain't got no rats. He's like, no, but he admits to her that he is terrified because he thinks that the stuff that's happening on the ship is his fault.
See, what had happened was the experiment Wes fell asleep in the middle of was his final project for advanced genetics using nanites from sickbay, which are these tiny little robots meant to go inside living cells and make repairs. Now 2 of them are on the loose.
Fuck.
His experiment was to have 2 of the nanites work together and see if that increased their usefulness, but then he fell asleep and they got loose. He's like, it's just a science project, man. And Guinan's like, yeah, well, an old doctor friend of mine once said the same thing to me. Dr. Frankenstein. Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. So another tidbit about her, she knew Frankenstein, but he was like not real. Mary Shelley. I thought Mary Shelley, when she wrote that, I thought that was not real.
I think she's fucking with him.
Oh.
I think she's just saying like, oh yeah, a mad doctor also did one of these things, and
and
his
meant
creation
well.
went crazy.
Yeah, and meant well. Yeah. But he's like, yeah, but they're harmless, and they only have like the most basic skills. So he thinks it's kind of impossible they could be responsible, but in the back of his head, he's like, oh shit, what if? He knows they're responsible.
Then Dr. Mom calls up. She's been to his quarters expecting to find him there, so Wes heads off to meet up with her, but he asks Guinan to keep this between them. And she just stares at him. So he's like, ugh, I know. I will tell them if it's true.
I love her and Wesley's relationship because she doesn't even have to say anything because he knows that he knows what she'll say.
Yeah. And I wish we got more of it.
Yeah. And she's like, well, do you think you're going to get a good grade? And he's like, almost sad. He's like, yeah, I always get an A.
Yeah. I want to peel that onion back a little bit. Like, what are all those feelings going on there? Because that was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And as he leaves, Guinan says, so did Dr. Frankenstein.
Dr. Stubbs, I know how much this means to you.
My dear counselor, no insult intended, but please turn off your beam into my soul. I will share the feelings I wish to share.
After the break, Picard records a log. Engines are back online, but with the computer being so unreliable, he's not sure they'll be able to do the mission. Speaking of unreliable computers, Riker and Geordi reboot the mainframe and everything seems good, but when they try opening the shuttle bay doors again, music comes blaring over the speakers, which is a great setup for a data bit. Picard's like, what the fuck is this? And Data flips open the Encyclopedia Britannica.
He's like our built-in Alexa. It's Stars and Stripes Forever by John Philip Sousa, the American composer of band music in the early 20th century.
Picard's like, I know that. Shut off that damn racket. But apparently this is blasting on all comms channels, and it takes a shutdown of the bridge power to shut it off. So Picard asks Geordi to get us the fuck out of here, which of course Dr. Kelso protests and storms off. And Picard leaves the bridge to Riker, and then we're down in the shuttle bay where Kelso is explaining to Wesley that for him, this isn't as much about not being remembered by history, or even failing, but a little bit about failing, but more that he might miss this once-in-a-lifetime chance. This is not the first time we've heard him say this. He feels like this is his one shot to do something amazing, and he likens this to a baseball reference that I'm not a sports ball person, so I mean I watched baseball growing up, but whatever.
I hate baseball. Yeah, the baseball references I never get. And you should drop in the music, the moment. You gotta never let it go. You only get one shot. You know that one song?
No.
Yes, you do. You do so.
What's the one from Hamilton?
Miss my shot. Okay, yeah, do that one. Do that one. I'm not gonna, cause I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not gonna miss my shot.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
The Admiral is definitely incorrect.
He doesn't want to miss his shot.
Yeah.
And I get the baseball reference. It's the idea that like you point your bat out to the far fence and you swing for your life and try to hit the game-winning home run or whatever, break the records or I understand that, but I'm not a sports ball person, so it doesn't carry any kind of meaning for me. It doesn't emotionally move me in any kind of way.
Yeah, and like Cisco, he's a baseball Captain Cisco. He's a baseball fan, and he runs knowledge of the baseball statistics. He runs these scenarios in his head all the time.
Do you know why baseball has become such prevalent at this particular moment in Star Trek?
Mm-mm.
So this was Michael Piller.
Searching.
The baseball game Dr. Stubbs recalls later is the third and final game of the 1951 National League tiebreaker between the Brooklyn Dodgers and New York Giants just before Bobby Thompson hit the shot heard around the world, winning the game and the pennant for the Giants. This was added by Michael Piller from his own love of baseball. Anyway, Michael Piller came in to direct some episodes of TNG, and then he stayed on, and he and Rick Berman went on to create Deep Space Nine. And so this baseball stuff, Cisco having the baseball that he tosses around, like all of that stuff is Michael Piller. Back in the lab, Wes is scanning his nanite traps and seems to get a positive hit on one when his mom comes in and she's like, look, we got to talk. And this is one of those we're talking about two different things kinds of conversations where Wes is talking about causing this whole mess and she's talking about him being a workaholic.
Right.
And this boils up to a breaking point where Wes explodes saying, I've done everything that anyone has ever asked of me and more. And how the fuck would you even know? You haven't even been here.
Oh. And I feel like he's being a little unfair to her a little bit because she comes in worried about he's working too hard and he needs rest. But he's worried about something else. And when you explode at your mom, in most other shows, the mom gets angry and hurt and walks out, but she doesn't. She takes you can see her taking a beat and saying, take a deep breath. And then she just says, well, I'm here now.
Yeah.
How can I help you? What are you looking for? And then eventually he fesses up and he says, I think I've made a horrible mistake.
I really fucked up this time, Mom.
Yeah, but I love that relationship. Instead of getting angry and storming out because, oh, my son talked back to me, she takes a moment, tries to see where he's coming from.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a realization that your child's outburst is not about you. It's about some other thing that's going on and you just happen to be in the path.
Right. Right. Don't. She did not take it personally. It's a very adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when he said, and have you even met that robot phobic bitch they replaced you with?
I mean, like, how dare they?
Ugh, she was such a bitch to my friend Data, Mom. Why'd you have to leave? Anyway, this next scene, I didn't really remember anything about this episode coming in. Like, the title did nothing for me. The description did nothing for me. I didn't remember anything about this episode until the next shot is a computer screen of these nanites moving around. And this unlocked a core childhood memory of an old Windows 3.1 screensaver pack that I had. And one of them was these nanites moving around.
It reminds me of like an Atari game, like something I played on Atari.
So behind me, you'll see the screensaver.
Mm-hmm.
This is how the screensaver
one.
went.
Oh, I
These are the
remember that.
nanites moving around the screen.
I remember that screensaver.
Yeah.
I could watch that all day.
I know. There's no way to fast forward it, though, so we just have to let it go. But yeah, it was like childhood memory unlocked.
Yep.
When I saw that.
So we assume that Wesley pretty much spilled his guts, and now his mom's giving a PowerPoint presentation on these nanites. And they're basically tiny little machines built from the atom up, and then designed to have exposure only to the inside of the nuclei during cellular surgery. So it was a medical application that they were built for. And they were, before this, they were tightly confined to in a non-functioning state. But they've evolved.
Yeah, it all comes out now. Wes was working with these things for a school project. Now they're self-replicating too. So there's like millions of them.
Jesus Christ. It started with 2 and then, yeah.
And if you watch the little screensaver behind me, you can see them split and replicate every once in a while. Picard and company start down their usual Socratic problem solving. Do you think they know what they're doing? Why would they attack us? And such. But Kelso is like, who gives a shit? Kill them.
Yeah. He's only concerned with whatever's getting in his way of his goal, kill it.
Crusher does her best to argue this out, but Kelso is just not hearing it. He's like, this is no different than a virus reproducing itself. And how many viruses have you destroyed in your time, Doctor? And Picard's like, okay, enough. I'm drawing a line right here. This could be an intelligence of some kind, which, unlike Starfleet of the Wagon Train to the Stars era, we can't just spray gallons of nanoside on. So he assigns Wes and Data to work together on developing a way to safely remove the nanites from the computer systems. And they all get up and leave because, as we've discussed before, Picard's word is final. We heard everybody's ideas, everybody's thoughts, and he says, this is what we're going to do. Data, Wes, go do this thing. And then that just leaves Kelso kind of sitting there alone.
But he's still kind of tagging along. He's in the computer core with Wesley and Data.
Have we seen this set before? I don't think we have. I think this is a new play set.
Hey, they got that season 3 money, okay?
There's a couple new sets in this one. The lab we hadn't seen before. Yeah.
They got that season 3 money. And Stubbs is like kind of hounding them like, hey, I need this computer to be 100% in less than 8 hours. So Wesley and Data are going to try some low level gamma bursts not to kill them, but slow their productivity. And Stubbs is like, well, have you tried a high level charge? And Data's like, no, that would kill them. And he's like, I know. And he pulls out a fucking heater, fires up the wall. Dickhead.
In the ready room, Picard is telling Riker how this feels similar to Gulliver's Travels, being overpowered by the Lilliputians when a hissing sound catches their attention. And as they come out onto the bridge, it's all smoky and everyone's coughing.
Like,
so something's gone sideways with the gas leak.
What's that smell? It's basically...
Worf, did you fart again?
Remember that one time he had bubble guts and he couldn't help it?
And it's bad because when he sneezes, it shakes the whole goddamn ship. So imagine what happens when he farts.
So the environmental controls are malfunctioning now, and it's nitrogen oxide, toxic levels coming through. and LaForge is working on it, and then he turns something on, and it sucks up the gas out of there.
So they clear this nitrogen oxide, and just as Worf and Data perp walk Kelso off the elevator, and Worf's like, guess what this dumb motherfucker just did?
He shot them. He shot the nanites.
The egg that Stubbs laid.
No one will say that.
Kelso tries to pull this diplomatic representative of the Federation bullshit move that never works on Star Trek, and Picard steps right to him. And throughout all of this, the bridge lights continue to flicker, and sounds of systems going off and online. He likens this to machines with some loose screws, and Data's like, well, actually, Kelso may have just proven their intelligence. When he killed the nanites in the core, they sent this poison gas into the life support system. Correlation or causation?
Right, this bitch is retaliated.
Picard's like, Worf, confine this murderer to quarters until further notice.
But Worf is like, but the ship is at risk. I think we should exterminate them. Worf's always ready to fight.
Mm-hmm. So a gold shirt goon escorts Kelso into the elevator. Suddenly, the bridge goes back to normal. I'd say that's causation.
Mm-hmm.
Picard asks Data to work on some way to communicate with these nanites.
Data comes up with an idea of we could possibly modify the circuitry in the universal translator to make it capable of communication. And so he's set off to do that. And then Troy goes to see Kelso in his quarters.
Troy stops by to see Kelso for a little non-consensual therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And she points out that like all great Star Trek wild-eyed scientists, he's single-minded, driven by the need to have this thing work. And his whole personality is just connected to this single thing. Mm-hmm. And she also calls him out on some of his bullshit. She says his self-portrait is so practiced, so polished, and stretched so tight that if he fails, she fears it might snap. And he tries to shake this off and says, nice try, counselor. But sometimes when you reach beneath a man's self-portrait, deep down inside, what you find is nothing at all.
Like, damn, you admit it that you are,
Yeah.
He never made, yeah. Just for a moment, they switch back to Data, and Data is plugging away at the computer, working on the universal translator. And then they switch back to Kelso, where Troy's left, and he's doing this reconstruction of this 1951 baseball game in his head. And the lights start flickering, and little lightning things are happening from the food slot. And then a bolt of energy, lightning, I guess, reaches out and strikes him, and he screams, but he stumbles out of his door into the guard's arms.
That was a great fall. That was like almost a horror movie kind of thing where the door opens and the dead body falls out onto you. In sickbay, Picard comes to check on Kelso. And when he comes to, he's like, Picard, you have to kill those fucking things and protect me. So Picard goes to the bridge where Data and Riker are working on the translator now. And he starts giving orders to get ready to gamma blast the whole ship and genocide the nanites. When suddenly Data gets a reply in ones and zeros on the screen.
I am a representative of the highest command of the Federation, which has directed you to perform my experiment.
If any man, woman, or child on this ship is harmed as a result of your experiment, I will have your head before the highest command in the Federation.
Good Lord.
This is very rudimentary communication, but with each new generation of nanites, their understanding grows, and now may be the time to attempt talking directly to them. So Picard has Kelso brought up to apologize to them and turn this shit around. And for some reason, Data's like, hey boss, crazy idea, but why don't we just let the nanites take me over and speak through me? What?
Yeah.
Even Worf is like, this is the most ridiculous breach of security protocol I have ever seen. And I've seen some shit on this show.
Yeah. But he's like, but Data says, it would represent a gesture of good faith, of trust. So Picard's like, all right, fine. Ask the nanites if they want to take over your body. And Data says the answer is yes.
Back in the computer core terminal room, there is so much space grate in this room. Did you notice that? The whole goddamn room is space grate. I want a room. I want a room. I want a Star Trek room.
A space
that's like
grate
space
room.
grate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Data puts his hand under a microscope for the sole purpose of showing the audience the nanites entering through his hand, right? Otherwise, we didn't need that. It was for us. And then he stands up and begins speaking as the nanites. And of course, the very first thing they say is like, whoa, holy shit, y'all are ugly. Ugly bags of mostly water.
Yes, ugly bags of mostly water.
So Picard explains yet again that we value all life forms and we misinterpreted your actions as an attack. And so they find common ground as explorers. But then Nanodata turns to Kelso like, you're the motherfucker that killed my cousins.
Apologize, motherfucker.
And he's like, yeah, and I deeply regret it. I'm very sorry. I'm just a crazy scientist trying to get my life's work accomplished. And he puts himself at the mercy of the nanites, but they don't know what at your mercy means. So Picard explains that this is an apology, and it seems like both sides made some mistakes that caused this whole thing. And now that, we're talking it out, doesn't it seem better that maybe we just end the conflict now? The nanites agree to end the conflict, and Picard promises to do everything possible to assist their survival. But the nanites are like, it's cool, man. We've actually out-evolved you and your ship. We require relocation. Captain's log tells us they will be relocated to Cavis Alpha 4 thanks to Dr. Kelso's influence.
Is that a good idea, though? Like...
No. And I have a note on that here in a minute.
I mean, come on. You're just gonna... like create an entire civilization. He better get a good grade because
well, he's always going to get an A.
Yeah. But still, he's created an entire like civilization that's gonna like populate a freaking planet.
Yeah, you want new life and new civilizations? Well, there it sits.
Yeah.
The nanites have vacated Data and helped restore the D's systems just in time to launch Stubbs' experiment. Kelso is at an aft station when the neutron star explodes and starts lighting up with new data, and he is so absorbed by this that he doesn't even hear Picard call to him.
Life's work.
Out in 10 Forward, Crusher and Guinan are chatting at the bar, and here's another fun nugget of Guinan backstory.
Yeah.
Bev asks her if she has kids, and she says a lot.
What does that mean?
So she's got lots of husbands and lots of kids.
Yeah.
So Beverly's just looking to connect with another mom and talk this Wesley thing out, So she's like, ever have trouble relating to them? And Guinan says, only one. Apparently, this one wouldn't listen to anybody, which is not great in a species of listeners. But after a few hundred years, she was able to bring him around. And Bev asks, how? And Guinan says, a mother shapes her child in ways she doesn't even realize. Sometimes just by listening, which is what Beverly did earlier when Wesley exploded.
Yeah, so she already knew the right thing to do, but it's good to have that like validation.
Yeah, reinforcement from somebody else who's gone through it.
Mm-hmm.
Then we see Wesley come in with a hot blonde, and Crusher goes through the whole spectrum of emotion in one sentence as she says, "See, now that is healthy for a boy his age, and I mean that as a doctor, not just a mother. I mean, look at him now. He's joining a whole table full of young people his age, having fun with an attractive young woman who obviously looks at him with extraordinary affection." And the comedic TOS music plays, and she says, "What do you know about this girl?" So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Boy, I'm sure glad that's over with.
I'll be glad to be relieved of this cargo.
Me too.
It is done, and perhaps just as well.
Yeah, but I learned something today.
I sincerely hope that this is the last time that I find myself here.
You just don't get it, do you, Jean-Luc? You see, of all the species, yours cannot abide stagnation. Change is at the heart of what you are. That is the exploration that awaits you. Not mapping stars and studying nebula, but charting the unknown possibilities of existence.
Gosh, there is so much happening in this episode, and I kind of can't get over how forgettable this episode was. I didn't remember most of this at all.
But it's really good. It was a really good episode.
So good.
It packed in a lot of different themes. And I love how they're able to do that in TNG. is there's so many different things going on, but then there's the Wesley and mom thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Mm-hmm.
Wesley himself and what's going on with him internally, and then of course there's Kelso and this
Yeah.
experiment and the underlying theme behind all that, and so yes,
Yeah, I
it's
think this is a testament to Michael Piller having more control, that we're doing more character-based stuff starting now and less
so
sci-fi stuff, like classic sci-fi whatever stuff,
yeah. I mean, I like a mix, but yeah, I do like the stories about people, and I mean
Mhm.
they're just people on a starship,
Yeah.
but
So, yes, we have another crazy scientist on a whale quest to finish his final project. Wesley and his final project. So Wesley in his coming of age, how things have changed while his mother was gone and how different that makes things when she comes back.
mhm.
I mean, it's got to feel like you moving out into your own apartment for the first time, and then a year later, you just can't pay the bills or whatever, so you have to move back home. And so you've gotten that taste of independence, and you kind of start living life in a new way.
Mhm.
And then mom comes back, and that just makes things different. You
Yeah,
and
and
you can't just go back to the way things were before. And I'm glad they didn't try to do that.
yeah.
So I think this was a nice way to bring Beverly back and not try to just go back to the way things were, like really address head on. Like this is a situation that a lot of young people go through and have to navigate. And here's how it looks.
And I love that they didn't try to force she didn't try to force the issue. So and she went to her trusted advisors like Picard and Guinan to instead of just, worrying about my feelings, me, she's more worried about Wesley
Yeah.
and which I love. And she gave him his space and she let him tell her, she gave him the opening to tell her what was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Um I don't know. I love it.
Yeah. And as a mom, she's struggling with her son's new independence too. Like that's a new normal she has to navigate.
Right.
And
Like she wants him to grow up, but she doesn't. Like just with any parent, like you want
mm-hmm.
your kids to be independent, but it kind of hurts.
Yeah.
It kind of fucking hurts sometimes. They don't
Well,
need me.
and then she has this feeling that like my child is not having a normal childhood, whatever that means.
Yeah.
But like he's already a workaholic at 17, and that's not normal, quote unquote normal.
Right.
But it is true of a lot of kids and something that parents worry about a lot. Like my son doesn't have a huge friend group. He's not, out running around doing stuff, and that's fine.
But and who said that having a huge friend group is the thing that you want
Yeah,
like for
right.
your child?
Yeah, what is normal?
Yeah, you want them to have somebody, just not, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, what I have never been a big friend group person. I've only ever had like one or two really close friends,
Yeah,
and that was
growing up.
good enough for me. I didn't need to like go out and do stuff all the time and like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But all of this is just day in the life human stuff that most of us experience and can relate to.
Yeah.
Then we have another classic Star Trek life doesn't always look like we think it should sort of story, right? This is the Horta all over again.
Yeah. And I love that right off the bat, Picard is like, "No, it could be intelligent life. We're not just going to blow them away."
Yeah.
You know.
Who do you think I am? James T. Kirk?
But he was almost about to.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. He got close.
They were about to blow it away.
Mhm.
Just to protect the ship because it was coming down to the safety of people because of that the gas. I mean, they could
Yeah.
kill people.
So take that pin that we put in earlier out. And what I think is interesting about this is we just introduced the Borg as the evil machines working together as a collective baddie. And these little guys seem like they could easily become something similar over time, but that never comes up. We just drop them off on a planet and wish them well.
Oh no, but first we teach them how to communicate.
Oh yeah, right.
And
Yeah.
then we drop them off on the planet and say, "Good luck.
Good luck.
Have
Yeah.
at it." Oh Jesus.
And of course, we never go back to visit the nanoplanet either. Just
Yeah.
there was not enough lower decks to follow up on all the things that we needed to follow up on.
I wanted to know whatever happened to the Spock clone. So
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, did we rap for the dead nanites in this episode?
Did we rap?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Allie, you're fired.
I know. I didn't even. I couldn't remember. At the beginning, I started writing something for Kelso.
But he didn't die.
But he didn't
sadly.
die. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Because I could have sworn he was going to die. I thought he was going to pull a Randy Quaid Independence Day and go off into the star on the egg, but I was like, no, that must be thinking of something else. It's a different episode. But then I guess like the whole pursuit of knowledge and then the ethics around it too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you willing to do to see your scientific experiment or whatever go through? And Kelso had no ethics. I mean, he had no ethics. He was, like Troy said, single-minded and only concerned with his results, and was willing to, which often people are like that, they are willing to just sacrifice whatever just so that they can see their scientific pursuits.
And I didn't connect this until you just said it, but also the reverse of that is Wesley. Wesley, who was doing a really important science experiment that had huge repercussions in the end. And yet, his concern was still for the safety of his friends in the ship and not just his experiment. And so when Kelso talks about how, like, you and I are the same, no, man, we're really not. We're really not.
They're the same in the fact that they're both really wunderkind, but other than that, their ethics are completely different.
Yeah.
And that's what makes a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can handle all the pleasantries later. Now, let's get down to business.
I am willing to pay handsomely for you. I think you've had a little too much to drink.
Now, what do you know about my money?
Your money?
The money he stole!
You stole his money?
Those vouchers I gave you were every bit as good as Latinum.
You can spend Latinum almost anywhere. Those vouchers are only good at your bar.
As always, we want to thank everybody who supports the show. We want to give a special shout out to our founding admirals on Patreon. A special thanks to Allie, Peter, Sarah D, Bruce, The Bear, and Keurig Podcast, and some call him Tim.
Thanks, patrons.
Thank you so much.
Captain, Starfleet Academy is requesting an update on our estimated arrival.
Finalists, please take your seats.
I must admit you have a very fast mind.
Once I realized it was a trick question, there was only one answer.
Although only one student will be chosen for the Academy, any of you could easily qualify. Candidates, good luck.
You got called to the superintendent's office. It's a story I'd like to hear.
Becca's back now with the answer to this week's Starfleet Academy Cadet Challenge question for evolution. Remind us again the question.
What two promotions happened in this episode?
And I believe we said the black people.
The black people. The black people got promoted.
You're right.
Yeah.
Affirmative.
Chief Engineer Geordi LaForge was promoted to rank of Lieutenant Commander, and Worf was promoted to from his previous rank of Lieutenant Junior grade to full lieutenant.
Yes.
Nice.
Thank you, Playmates action figures, for the answer to that question, because it's not mentioned at all on screen in the episode at all. You just have to notice that their pips are different. Next week, we'll be reviewing Star Trek The Next Generation Season 3, Episode 2, The Ensigns of Command. Data races against time to save a human colony that's been marked for death by aliens. And Podcast Magic, we have already watched and recorded our episode, so we can't go in blind with Allie, what do you know about this episode?
Yeah.
I didn't remember anything going in, though. Based on just the title of the episode and the description, not a clue.
No.
Okay, what's our question for the Ensigns of Command?
The Shellyak costume was repurposed. Can you identify who it used to be?
We're pretty sure we know this answer. Again, Podcast Magic. Allie?
Used to be? It wasn't Armus.
You don't think so?
Not the costume, because the costume was like a bunch of black corn silk. Remember? It was goo. But I mean, Armis then? Because I don't know.
Damn, I don't know either now.
I mean, we could say Armus,
We could.
since they used the guy's voice.
Uh-huh. That's all.
But it had...
What else could it be?
Yeah. Let's say Armus.
Okay, Armus, final
I
answer.
don't know. I mean, we talked a shitload about Armus.
We did.
I mean,
we will.
Wait, we will.
We will.
Never mind. Never mind.
All right. Well, if you want to guess and play along, you know how to do that. Head out to your social media, share this episode, use the hashtag Starfleet Challenge. We will pick out a winner, and next time we will review Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 3, Episode 2, The Ensigns of Command.
It's a good day to die.
Beverly.
Humanist Trek is available wherever you replicate your podcasts. Follow us on all the social medias at Humanist Trek. Become a patron at patreon.com/Humanist Trek. Open hailing frequencies to podcast@humanisttrek.com and visit our website, humanisttrek.com. Humanist Trek is a production of Sarah Austin Media.